Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your timeless work, career, vocation reading, though doing this in March 2022. I am your reader, Angelo Lyons, Mal for short. Professional witch, professional intuitive. President of Jarring the Circle Productions since 1998. Author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. Available on Kindle. Link in the description box. Creator on Patreon. Patreon.com/Drawing the Circle. I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons. But you can call me Mal. Hey, my bulls. Fellow Earth signs. Hi, Virgo here. No planets in Taurus, but I do love a Taurus. So let's get down to biz, shall we? A work, career, vocation is your life purpose seen through the lenses of work, career, and vocation, 3 levels of power. And there is a video in the description box. I redid all the description boxes. A video from Carolyn Myss, PhD. This is her archetype deck. We're going to start with 3 of these in a little bit, explaining the 3 levels of power. In a lecture, it's like part 1 of 3, so you dip a toe if you're interested in looking at other areas of your life through the 3 levels of power. But there are chakras involved, and we are adding the new deck that I picked up in Saratoga Springs at the Magic Moon, the chakra reading cards, which I love. So what is usually a 12-card spread will be a 13-card spread. I'm going to read you from the bookie book on that one. So if you are new to this, it is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs because you want to find your leverage in your work, career, vocation. Sometimes your work could be your sun sign, your career could be your moon sign, and your vocation could be your Venus, right? What you're drawn to, right? Your love, your divine spiritual power, your calling, and all that. So let's see what hits the table. I'll explain it as I go, or the guides will. And let's do this. Both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I will do the same to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace to help you fulfill your life purpose, right? To feel that fulfillment on different levels and fulfill your role in the divine plan at a time when the world needs us all to be doing that, particularly with the war in Ukraine, right? And what's going on in the world with gas prices at the time of this recording and food shortages and, you know, just all of this cray-cray. Well, you keep growing, healing, evolving, bringing your chakras into alignment through work, career, vocation. You're doing your part because you know what? I don't have the financial or political power to do a damn thing about it. So, being the witch and the healer and the teacher that I am, this is my service to help with all of that. Shall we? Please take a nice deep breath. At least you know I have purpose, right? Let's do this, my second housers. As I call upon the collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of work, career, vocation, and the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. Please, 3, Caroline Myss archetype cards representing the 8th chakra dynamic going on in the work, career, and vocation. The literal level of power, the personal level of power, and the symbolic level of power, survival intuition, creative intuition, visionary intuition for the Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. Let's try and keep this light and as helpful, as truly healing, and as truly helpful as possible for the Taurians in this time. Let's read what's going on, 8th chakra of their work. All 3 of these are listed in the title, but in reverse order. There's their work, what's going on in their career, and what's going on in their vocation. 3 levels of power. Let's see who is who. Ooh, okay, all right. Well, we've got an orphan child in your work. That can be very problematic. We'll talk about it. We've got the rescuer in your career, and we've got the advocate in your vocation, which is very much a vocation many people have in many ways, shapes, and forms. So a survival family archetype, a healing family archetype, and an action family archetype. I like this, particularly if you advocate for children in any way, shape, or form. And we'll see how that plays out, though you'll notice in the title I put them in reverse order because you want to take it from your vocation all the way down into physical form. You'll see. So every archetype is neutral, shadow and light attribute. Everybody has a child archetype, but not everybody has the sub-pattern of the orphan child. And if you take that too literally, you miss it. I was not literally orphaned, but I have the orphan archetype. Let me read it to you. The shadow is the foundation of the healing, right? The stuff that needs to come into alignment, the lead that needs to be alchemized to gold, the pain to peace, the shadow to light, right? That your eighth chakra controls the electrodynamics of the rest of your energy field, what you attract and what you repel according to what your soul needs, not necessarily what your ego wants. So the shadow attribute, feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate families. You don't want to know how many inappropriate surrogate families. I'm not tribal. I'm not. Like I have no desire to run with the lemmings off a cliff, right? I've never really fit in, right? Look at me. I am 53 years old. I'm not going to look my age range, right? So, most of our major mythical heroes are orphans. Disney, right? Loki, although technically a villain, but he's a god, right? Harry Potter, Dorothy Gale, on and on and on. We keep seeing the orphan archetype having to do their journey, their path, independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering the fear of surviving. Oh, it's such a powerful archetype. But if you take it literally, people miss it entirely. You don't know how many surrogate families, toxic or otherwise, I've had along the way. And now I'm fine with my parents. They're great. But I'm still not tribal. I'm just not. I'm just not. I'm a freak. Let your freak flag fly. So that's in your work, your survival intuition. So you got a survival archetype and the survival intuition that's very powerful. Let's talk about in your career, whether you are a healer or not, a rescuer archetype can take many different forms. The shadow attribute assumes that the rescued will reciprocate, keeps the rescued one needy. The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, please wait, courtesy telephone. The light attribute you're shooting for here is providing strength and support to others in crisis. Acts out of love with no expectation of reward, right? So a lot of people work a job and then they kick into their career when they're not at work. Some people may work at a job, but they bring this archetype into their work. So that's why I say if you're like a rescuer of people who are symbolically orphaned people, take it symbolically, not literally. This could be you, Taurus, second house, life values, right? Cancer is the mother of the zodiac, but Taurus is fixed earth. It's the fertile earth. It's Demeter, who just got her daughter back, at least here in the northern hemisphere, from Hades, from the underworld. In your vocation, which is your life calling, 8th chakra. This is lower 3 chakra dominant. This is heart, third eye crown dominant. This is 8th chakra dominant. The advocate, this is your spiritual power, this level of power. The shadow attribute, embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. In other words, there is a hidden agenda. There's something in the shadow that you don't want to look at or you don't want other people to know about. But the light attribute inspires you to put compassion into action. You may not be dealing with literal orphans, but you don't know how many people I know that are animal rescuers, right? Either through literally going out into the world and rescuing the animals and bringing them somewhere safe and feeding them, or through foster, right? How many of us have rescued people? It did not go well, right? So this is pretty powerful. So putting your action, so you're an advocate, rescuer, orphan child, or an advocate, rescuer dealing with an orphan child archetype. General read. That's why if you want a private read with me, booking a reading with Mal, link in the description box. I do these readings with people all the time, and I have for decades since I learned about the 3 levels of power. So let's look at the next 4 chakras down for each level. Daughters of the Moon Tarot does heart, third eye crown for me. PDW pretty damn well, right? What's your internal experience, your yin-ternal experience? The world behind your eyes, your spiritual power, your mental power, your choices, willpower, and your emotional power with all of this. Breathe. This is a very highly chakric reading. Here we go. I call upon my goddesses of earth, the sign of Taurus, powers of the north, please for my beloved earth sign brothers and sisters in the Taurus collective, sun, moon, rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. In their work, they've got the orphan child archetype in the 8th. What's going on there behind their eyes? That nurturing, fertile earth Taurus in their work. Excellent. The star. The hope is in there. When it's a major arcana card, heart, third eye, crown, it's not fire, earth, air, or water. It's spirit. It's all of the chakras at once coming into an inspirational alignment. The orphan child has more of a shot at following the inspiration that's only meant for them if they're not connected to a tribe. Here's my best example of tribal consciousness. Cheerleaders. Now I went to high school in the 80s, so this is dated, so bear with me. And if you watch the movies of the time, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? For a cheerleader to change the color of her hair, she kind of has to check with the rest of the squad. The orphan doesn't do that. The orphan's like, I'll do what I want with my own hair. You get it? Right? Like Harry Potter is a perfect example how the orphan child empowered himself. Well, I mean, hell of a lot less on my plate back then than Harry did, right? You know, Dementors and whatnot, although I will say there were some Dementeds along the way, doctor or otherwise. Let's see what's going on in your career. Breathe. This feels good, I gotta say. Not all work, career, vocation readings are all 100% womp womp. Just the world seems 100% womp womp. So please, my goddesses. In their career, the rescuer, it's a beautiful archetype if it's done well, if it's seen as a way to serve with expecting nothing in return, right? Provides strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. What's going on there for the Taurus collective? Heart, throat, third eye, crown in their vocation. Heart, throat, third eye, crown, dominant, creative intuition. Like I said, this feels good. 6 of flames, 6 of wands, Bastet, the Egyptian cat goddess of the sun, play. Different than the 6 of wands. Traditional Rider-Waite, but certainly a fun feline energy. Now, I would say if you are a cat rescuer, that's a little on the nose. But then keep in mind that orphan archetype might be really finding a sense of tribe there. Like, that's one way really to read this. But it is saying throat chakra, right? The fire, willpower, what you will, what you won't, what you do, what you won't, whether you say it or not, whether you do it or not, whether you rescue or not, and how you do that. It is balanced fire. 6s numerologically are numbers of harmony and balance. So it's like your choices do feel like you're playing with them a little bit. You know, there might be a little bit of juggling going on there, but it's creative, it's play. So it's like a very creative energy in your creative intuition. Survival intuition, creative intuition, visionary intuition. So let's look at that 8th chakra. Your vocation with the advocate, which can be, to me, an advocate is speaking for those who cannot speak, right? Like animal, you know, stuff like that. But it can be seen in a near infinite number of ways. So let's see in terms of your calling. Like if you are an advocate for children or those who cannot speak for themselves, something like that, then I'm going to say your rescuer archetype, get that you are really enacting some healing here, and it's something that lights you up, right? Even if what you're doing, you know, to pay the bills, some people get paid for what they do in work. I don't. I get paid in my career. My work is as a producer, right? I'm not getting paid to set up the cameras. Although my staff is feline and fun, I will say that. But we have really good water cooler conversations. Let's take a look. Their vocation. Breathe. My goddesses, please. One card in clarity for the Taurus Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading. Advocate in the 8th chakra dominant, their visionary intuition. With that advocate, putting compassion into action, what they're shooting for, what's going on for them, heart, third eye, crown, here to help them align with their calling, their vocation. The victory card, the 7 of flames, the 7 of wands. So you think of 6 of wands in Rider-Waite Tarot as a card of victory. Well, it is definitely a card of being seen and having fun. But in your vocation, this is galloping. 3 women on the back of 3 horse, one each, with these fireballs, and they are all galloping in the same direction on cooling lava. So even the lava underneath the surface is moving them. So there is a momentum, a moving forward here that I really, really like. A little different than the 8 of wands, but heart, throat, third eye, crown. Again, a dominant throat chakra thing. I'm surprised I'm not coughing, but with that balance and that victory, that, you know, you are achieving victory in your vocation. Does the orphan child feel that, though? Although with the star, to me the star is the highest vibrational spiritual card in the deck. The moon, the sun, the star. I mean, if you take in terms of altitude, this could be a very blessed orphan, right? Even if it's not literal. Could be, though. Depends on your definitions, right? If you look at an archetype straight on, sometimes you miss it. It's just how it works. Carolyn May, Sacred Contracts, wonderful book, wonderful work, wonderful teacher. Lower 3 chakras, the mythic tarot, the masculine energy, the lower 3 chakras, you looking at yourself from the outside in, you on the inside looking out or at a person, place, or thing. The lower 3 chakras have to do with relationships, groups, tribes, organizations, corporations, nations, political parties, your favorite band, your sports team, any group of 3 or more that you are involved in any way. Now remember, orphan children usually are not so tribal. It's a long story, right? Second chakra, relationship, one-on-one, umbilical cord, you know, like navel to navel, with another person or thing. And solar plexus, your relationship to yourself, your personal power, your intuition, your survival intuition that only you get, right? Your boundaries, your honor code, what you will, what you won't. You do what you don't, which evolves with time. Breathe. I feel like every time I explain those chakras, someone else gets it and goes, oh. Oh. So I call upon my gods of earth, the sign of Taurus, powers of the north, please. Lower 3 chakra dynamic for the Taurus Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. We've got the orphan child in the 8th with the star on the inner for their work. What's on the outer? Please leave that card in my hand. Keep giving me 2, which means there's a couple of different options of how this could go in the physical for them in this timeless work-career-vocation read. And we got the 5 of Cups. So there is some emotional upset as a result of something being revealed. So 4 cups spilt, 1 cup standing. This is the myth of Eros and Psyche. Read the myth. When she finally sees the face of her husband, Psyche sees the face of her husband, Eros, the god of romantic erotic love, son of Aphrodite, and how they got married without her seeing his face, and why he takes up off the fuck out of there when he discovers that she broke her promise and looked at his face. It's because he's so gorgeous. He wanted to be loved for who he really is, not just because he's the god of love. I can relate, can't you? Like, this feels good, though. Okay, yes, there is some emotional stuff going on here. You could be dealing with some emotional drama in a tribal situation or with another person, or just things are just really going through a lot of emotional change in the physical part of this, and the orphan child does have to face the challenge of survival. Isn't that right, Melchior? my youngest, my Taurus. Have you come for the Taurus? Or he's just head bonking my ankle. Do you want here? Come sit. Come sit over here on this side so we can see you. Right? Come on. Come on. No. Come on. Oh, I think this is worth the wait. Trust me, he's worth the wait. Hey, Bugs. No. Fucker. Taurus. Breathe. Let's keep it light, folks. There's a war going on in the Ukraine. Please, my gods, in their career, they've got the rescuer archetype in the 8th chakra with Bastet, cat goddess. Heart, third eye crown, but definitely in their career in terms of their willpower, their choices, their decisions, their creativity. What's going on, lower 3 chakra, please, here in their creative intuition? What's that look like on the outer? Temperance. Temperance. Take your time. Be patient. The balance that you have going on the inner, it's a 6. You're not quite at the 10, and people don't like the Ten of Wands because they think of it as a burden card, but certainly it is a completion of fire, a completion of desire, and you've got a 6 and a 7 here in alignment. So Temperance here, Iris, the goddess of the rainbow, with the 2 cups here. We are certainly looking at a healing, but one that takes time and patience. I have said this to every client for the past year or two since I discovered watching videos on YouTube about refining metal, right? And tempering metal, like taking antique, old, rusty, dusty things and like rehabilitating them, renovating them, whatever the words are, restoring them. What they put it through, and the process of tempering, of putting something in a furnace, heating it to like white hot, and then dousing it in like motor oil so it becomes unbreakable. It takes time, it takes heat, it takes pressure. That's Temperance. Yes, this can be a lovely healing card, and for a rescuer, I like that. But it also means you have to keep yourself in balance here. Now, with that 6 of Flames on the inner, I don't think that's going to be that hard. It seems like you've got the heat, but I think it's going to be really about expectation, right? Acts out of love with no expectation of reward. Well, expectations are the seeds of disappointment and heartbreak. I didn't make it that way. It just is. Advocate. In your career, victory. 7 of Flames on the inner, galloping forth, so you're really making headway as an advocate in some way, shape, or form in your vocation, your life calling. Please, my gods of earth, what's that look like for the Taurians, please? 4 Pentacles. Yeah, you may be withholding a little bit. You may not be as physically active with the 4 of Pentacles, which is kind of more about conservation, rest, not necessarily appraisal, right? Appraising things, but letting the dust settle a little bit after the 3 of Pentacles. Yes, there is more work to be done here, but with that victory on the inner, this might be maybe keeping that to yourself. Now, I will say the challenge here, he almost jumped up. The challenge here is, here he is, you just can't see him because he's black cat on a black background, unless his eyes show. Right, Booger? Lay down. Good boy. I love him. Where was I? That from the 3 to the 4 for sure. Here, it may not necessarily be closing your heart down, but embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. That's the challenge. So if you are closing your heart off here, because sometimes you can't always be the advocate you want to be in every situation, but I have to say, it feels like your leverage is in your career here, that to take the time with this. There may be injustices going on in the world that are really talking to you, and maybe you can't do anything. I wouldn't necessarily call it stuck, but I would say guarding your heart. And that can be a very healthy boundary as well, while this internal victory gallops inside of you. Right, Milky Head. He's a good boy. You're always a good boy. Except at 3 in the morning when he starts to sing to his people, which is his gig. Aw, are you gonna come up on my chair with me? Are you? Live TV for me, folks. For you, it's recorded. I'm not editing this adorableness out. He's a good boy. Yes, I love you too. I went away for a couple of days to Saratoga to see my parents, and they've been on me, which except for the first like 45 minutes when I got home, and then they realized who I was. Please take a nice deep breath. The healing mantra deck to get you some mantras to help you bring these chakras into alignment so you feel more fulfillment, right? As we come into more alignment with our work, career, vocation, integrating all this stuff, learning the lessons led to gold, we fulfill our role in the plan, and this world's supposed to get better as a result. So let's see what hits the table. Breathe. All right, I call to the ascended masters of life purpose through work, career, and vocation, please. We're just going to get all three on the table, and I will read them all together. For their work, they have the orphan child in the 8th star on the inner, 5 of cups on the outer. What is their perfect healing mantra for this timeless work, career, vocation? Read. There you go. For their career, heart, third eye crown, they got the rescuer, Bastet, 6 of flames on the inner, Iris, the temperance card on the outer. What's going on there? Their second level of power, their career. And in their vocation, their spiritual calling, advocate in the 8th, 7 of flames, victory on the inner, but 4 of pentacles on the outer, which does feel a little covert. Not so sure what that's about, but if it's, really biding their time, which this temperance card could indicate, before putting their compassion into action, sometimes that is the wise choice to make. So what's their perfect healing mantra, please, for their vocation? No bookie books from these. We're saving the bookie books for the chakra deck. Overcoming fear, demystifying the darkness, and soothing impatience. There you go. Now, if you read these in reverse, what you're doing, you take the mantras. The mantra is, there's nothing to do but wait. My shadow shows me where my love needs to be sent, and I will transcend every loss. So your work, career, vocation here is very much, I would say, about that orphan child surviving in this world by confronting fear, confronting and overcoming fear. In your career, that rescuer, demystifying the darkness inside of them, their shadow showing them where their love needs to be sent. And where is that shadow? Assuming that the rescued will reciprocate, keeps the rescued ones needy, even if you are dealing with a shadow rescuer in your career, right? Someone who helped you, who rescued you, and now they are waiting for their pound of flesh, if you want to shake a spear at it. And certainly in your vocation, there's nothing to do but wait. Soothing impatience, this mantra has been such a gift. Thank you, Kahn, particularly with an advocate who's got the gallop on the inner, but is like, not just yet. Nothing to do but wait. And it can be that maybe someone or something is holding out on you in some way, shape, or form, and there's nothing to do but wait. It is a temporary situation. And then you can really take advantage of where you are in the present moment, right? What are the benefits that are here? So many times I've been bitching and moaning about sitting in traffic, trying to get somewhere, and then of course, you drive on and you see there was a horrible accident. It's like, well, okay, I wasn't in that accident. Was that divine timing? Apparently everything is divine timing. So I have adapted another Kahnism. Time is my ally. It's always been the truth, but we don't see it, so we don't relax into it. And then once we relax into it, it's nothing to do but wait. And you do what you're inspired to do. Now, I will say, you've got one major arcana, two. Well, major arcana on the inner in your work right now is to stay in alignment, is to pray from that orphan child place, whatever, meditate, bring yourself into alignment, because you will transcend every loss. So the loss of connection, the loss of a job, the loss of an opportunity, whatever that is that's creating this emotional upset, the 5 of Cups, that makes sense. But in terms of this rescuer, that there is still this fire inside of you, and to use that to demystify the darkness, the pain, the expectations that did not go so well. Yeah, and wait, hang in there. You'll be able to put your compassion into action in a way that is really victorious for you, but there might be some holding back for right now, and until this is more in alignment, I would understand why. Ready for the new deck? I am. These are beautiful. I love this. The Chakra Reading Cards by Rachel Charman, Rachelle. If you want to look her up, there's a link in the description box. I also did an unboxing. Link in the description box. By Rockpool. Close. It's like Deadpool, but Rock and Deadpool. Oh, so we have to bring Ryan Reynolds into it. I'm trying to work. So it does actually the Earth the Earth Star chakra, as well as the Soul Star, the 8th chakra. Digging this deck. It's a little long, but that's why we're only getting one, making 13 cards. For my witches out there, breathe. Made a noise. Yeah. As I call upon the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. What is the chakra reading card? The message. Read their chakras. Show us where is the leverage here. At least in terms of chakras for the Taurus Collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading in their work, career, vocation, an advocate, rescuer, orphan, on the path of their fulfillment for this timeless read. You got the heart chakra, number 18. Everybody say love. Everybody say love. Love. Thank you, Saint RuPaul of the Drag Race. I love love. I love to be in love. Don't you love to be in love? I just bet Midlered us, and that's always a good thing. You know, she saved my life once. Not directly. Jones Beach Theater, 1984. Day tour. Said if she can get away with doing that and be magnificent, I can pull this off. Teenage. Let me read you. Beautiful card. Just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. A heart of purple and red flame. Take a nice deep breath. There's an affirmation at the end. Breathe. Card number 18. Love. Heart chakra. You have called upon this card today as a reminder that love is all you need. I'll have that stuck in my head for the rest of the day, and I ain't mad. Your true essence and every single cell in your being vibrates to the powerful essence of love. You may be going through a challenging time at present, such as a relationship breakup, excuse me. There's that throat chakra. So this is I get it. This is where the hard choices are. You may be going through a challenging time at present, such as a relationship breakup, a challenging family situation, friendship breakdown, or some personal challenge. Pulling this card today is a reminder that love is the key to your current situation, and certainly demystifying your darkness, your shadow, showing you where your love needs to be sent. This is self-love to parent that child within you. Within you. You do you. All right, that's the key. It's time to bring the focus back to love and to what is important and true for you. Love is the biggest healer of all and has the power to create miracles in your life. Seriously, I did Course in Miracles, the workbook, twice, and it is true. But the miracles we get are the miracles we need, not always the miracles we want, and that pisses people off. Sorry. It is very easy to sway from the essence of love, especially in our crazy, fast-paced lives. You can never venture too far from this powerful essence because you are love. It resonates in every cell of your being. It's time to open and allow this energy to flow into your world and into those challenges that you are experiencing. Do what is required to become open to this love. Now, I'm looking at the demystifying the darkness with temperance on the outer and that 6 of flames on the inner. This is a healing family archetype, the rescuer. This is sort of you rescuing yourself on the inner, for sure. Do you need some time for you? A holiday, a change of job, a deep, honest conversation with someone. Whatever it is, gift yourself that time and space with love. No matter what someone has or hasn't done, including yourself, we're all deserving of love in all its forms. If you feel that you sometimes have a tendency to close off from love, that is traditional 4 of Pentacles, closing the heart, the hoarder. If you feel that you sometimes have a tendency to close off from love, this card is an indication that it's time to open that beautiful heart of yours and allow yourself to receive. You are ruled by Venus, after all. You are truly deserving of deep love, and now is the time for you to dance with this essence and believe you are worthy of it. Remember also that the most important form of love is self-love. Ding, 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 ding. Ask yourself, what part of me have I not been loving? Like maybe the orphan, part of you that feels like it don't fit in no matter what. Isn't that right? You're not an orphan. You're my son. And take some time to give this aspect of you some good old nurturing. It's a good word for a child archetype on the table. Love is the medicine for the soul and of life. And this card can also reflect that you have been opening more to love, and that it's time to meet that special person to share a loving connection with, possibly a soulmate or twin flame. Oh, let's not go there, shall we? The affirmation, I am love and love is me, as I will so love be. Yay, I love this deck. They had to bring twin flames and soulmates into them, just didn't it? I'm actually doing a radio interview, internet radio interview, Lois T. Martin tonight. They're bringing me on to talk about the new definitions of twin flames and soulmates. Look at my channel or check out Kahn. That's all I'm going to say on that. Okay, let me put this together. This does make sense, right? So this will be called an advocate, rescuer, orphan child contract in love or with love. Pretty good. Let's do the blessing. Please take a nice deep breath. Let's do this for reals, guys. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, watching this video, receiving this reading, to bless them with all that they need so that they can be inspired to put their compassion into action with victory, though perhaps holding back a bit, soothing impatience because there's nothing to do but wait, and that they can provide strength and support to others in crisis, acting out of love with no expectation of reward, but finding fulfillment in it, finding fun in it, finding creativity in it, but tempering their way as they go, being patient, the balance, the becoming stronger and unbreakable as a result as they demystify their darkness, their shadow, showing them where their love needs to be sent, so that they can embrace the independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering their fear of surviving, following the very high vibrational card of hope, the golden thread, the mother grace of hope, the gateway grace that opens the gateways to other graces we need not even know the name of, to find our way through the labyrinth, to follow their star, to follow their spirit, to hold on to that wish in spite of, or maybe even because of, an emotional upset, a temporary one, it will not last forever, but an emotional change of some point, usually as a result of something being revealed, but there is still one cup standing, so they will transcend every loss as they overcome fear, really feeling with and dealing with what so many people on planet Earth are feeling and dealing in Ukraine, in Europe, and all over the world in so many different ways, shapes, and forms. So for them to be that rescuer of their own heart, to love themselves in that way with that heart chakra focus, their leverage really does seem to be in their career heart, third eye crown here, that is going to help them put their compassion into action and really face the pain and the feeling and the healing necessary to not just heal their own, perhaps orphan archetype energy, but that for everyone who feels disenfranchised on planet Earth. So may they be blessed with all that they need, every breath, every blink of their eye, every beat of their heart, so that they find their fulfillment, fulfilling their role in the divine plan for the well-being of all and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So mote it be. And so it is. That's pretty cool. If you want a private read, like I said, booking a reading with Mal, there's a link in the description box. Take clients all the time. They get top priority. So did you like this video? Hit the thumbs up. Help the other bulls find it. Want more of me here? Subscribe and hit that notification bell, because I put these videos out when they are ready to go out. No set schedule unless I'm traveling, and I'm not traveling again anytime soon, except, you know, errands. That's not traveling, that's just daily. And certainly if you want to come play and go deeper with Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, I highly recommend coming to check me out on patreon.com. patreon.com/join the circle, because I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal, and it is my honor, my joy, my grace, my passion to serve anyone, but particularly fellow earth signs, because let's face it, we're the stablest of them all. Wishing you all the very best and the very blessed, my beloved bulls. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.